Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here once again, and today I have a brand new Final Fantasy XIV video for you. This one is going to be talking about why I think it's the best MMO currently for brand new players. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Let me know in the comments down below how long you've been playing Final Fantasy XIV. If you are playing it, are you a veteran? Are you a newcomer? Have you been jumping in with the rest of the influx of new players that have made the game unavailable online through Final Fantasy through Square Enix, which is absolutely insane to me. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Final Fantasy content from me in the future. And also, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So, thank you so much for helping me hit that, because honestly, I couldn't do it without you all. Anyway, I wanted to talk about why Final Fantasy has been so great, because I actually took a break from the game. I played it for a short period of time a couple years ago and just didn't vibe with it. But I came back, I gave it another shot, and I've been absolutely loving it. I've had so much fun, whether it's story or dungeons and all this kind of good stuff. I wanted to go over why that is and why I feel like other new players like me would benefit from jumping into the game and experiencing it for themselves firsthand. In the background, you're going to see my first time facing the ultimate weapon on hard mode. Also, my first time facing Ramuh, the summon. So, let me know in the comments how I did. I know I'm still learning Bard. I'm level 56, but there's a lot of nuances that I'm still trying to pick up. And thankfully, I'm not a tank or a healer, because they level a lot faster, which is awesome. But the roles are so crucial. If you mess up in either of those roles, your team is going to be in for a world of hurt. So the lack of pressure when diving into a dungeon or one of the trials has been nice, because honestly, I've seen other people get really stressed out trying to carry as a healer or as a tank, and it's something I'm looking forward to playing. I know my next class is going to be Dark Knight, but that's for a little bit down the line. I'm happy with my Bard for now. Anyway, let's talk about why the game is so great for beginners. One, I will say, you don't have to do side quests. There's a lot of side quests available, and I've made it to level 55, almost level 56, I believe, without doing almost any of the side quests. I've probably done like 5 to 10 total my entire time. And I'm talking about the basic side quests, not the recommended side quests that unlock the dungeons and that kind of stuff. The ones with the blue symbol inside the quest marker. Those I have done all of them pretty much that are available for me, but the standard side quests, the hunting logs, I haven't really focused on those at all. And I'm still over leveled for where I am in the main story quest. Just doing the main story quest, just doing the duty finder daily, because I log in, I'll duty find into a dungeon I haven't done, or a daily leveling or something like that. Just all of that has led to me being over my recommended level for pretty much the entire time I've been playing. And like I said, that's even as a DPS, whereas your tanks and your healers are going to level even faster. So if you're worried about being under-leveled, especially because I've played 99% of the game solo, match made for all the dungeons and trials that I've played, besides a friend or two hopping in once in a while, it makes the game not feel like a chore, not feel like a slog, because you're not having to divert from the story quests in order to have to do a bunch of side quests, do a bunch of fetch quests or missions in order to level to catch back up to the story. And I've really appreciated that, because I really enjoy the story. The Final Fantasy XIV story is a Final Fantasy story, not just an MMO story where it's fluff. That's in addition to you wanting to get to endgame and grind and all that kind of good stuff. So for me personally, I've really enjoyed the story so far. And from what I've heard, getting into Heaven's Ward, getting into the Shadowbringers and all the kind of stories is going to be even better. So I'm really excited for that, and that has me wanting to continue to play the story, continue to progress through those missions, and that's huge, because again, in a lot of MMOs, you kind of struggle your way through some of the story missions because they don't matter. They don't mean anything. They're just side things that you do because you have to, because you need to level. The other thing, like I said, I really enjoy the music, the change of pace, and the end game activities in this. Having so many different types of activities, whether they're just boss fights or they're full dungeons, whatever the case may be, has been great for me because I can always mix it up when I'm logging on for the day and I'm like, what do I want to do next as far as my duty finder? I can pick a number of things, some of them more challenging, some of them less so. That's really feels really good to me. I enjoy that quite a bit. Then we've got the shenanigans. There's Hildebrand side quest. I'm not going to spoil for anyone. That gets really, really zany. You've got Mogul King, who that boss fight is pretty funny. I actually posted a video of that to my channel. So definitely check that out if you haven't already, because that was a lot of fun. And again, there's a nice mix of a serious tone with some more lighthearted aspects. Obviously, you get your traditional things like your gear, leveling. You've got mounts. The only downside I would say with the mount system is it takes you so long to get your chocobo in the first place, and then it takes you another really long while before you can actually fly, which makes the traveling so much easier. So the one thing I would highly recommend as you go to a new zone, attune to the XIVrites as soon as possible. If you can set up your fast travel as quickly as possible, it takes a lot of the wandering out of the game when it could delay you a lot if you want to really focus on the story and don't want to travel by foot and hoof it to this location, that location all the time. Once you get, like I said, once you get the mount and you're able to fly, it makes a huge difference. You can get anywhere you want. You can fly over obstacles, and it works out a lot better, in my opinion. It's a bummer that the game waits so long before you're able to do that, because the environments are fantastic. I really enjoy diving into each of them, but I want to be able to do that in my own pace and not have to spend half my time running along the ground, and your movement speed is pretty slow. So that's the only downside a little bit from me personally, but it's a minor quibble. The story, like I said, is great. There are some quests that are almost skippable as far as the cutscenes go, although I rarely, if ever, do, because they're not really relevant to the overarching theme, the overall story that you're going to be facing. But for me, it's still something that it feels like a single player game with MMO features, if that makes sense. Whereas I can play a lot of it by myself and then party find or duty find or find friends to help me out for the rest of the game. The music, like I said, is fantastic. I've enjoyed that. The E3 battle, I posted that as well because I was jamming out to that music. That was fantastic. The only thing I will say, as far as new players being welcomed into the game, the hardest part for me is understanding how to play your role once you start to get to the 8-player activities. Because, especially on the tank side, there's a lot more involved as far as main tank, off tank, and even as a DPS, learning who to focus on, learning for a bard which order to cast my songs in, which order to use my abilities, because it is kind of important to do it in the correct order to maximize your output. And it can get a little bit complicated. There's not, from my experience, all the classes aren't just button mashing or how quickly you can dodge or how fast you can get in and out of combat or anything like that. A lot of it is sequential, is remembering timing and understanding when to use your various abilities. This can be probably frustrating for some who are unused to it, because other games don't have as that level of detail when it comes to, MMOs do some of them, but some of them are more hack and slash. and that's not what this game is at all, especially with the majority of your classes. So that's something to be aware. You definitely have to understand how to play your role and how to maximize your efficiency, but once you get it down, it's not so bad. And I'm still learning that even at level 55, because you do unlock different abilities as you go deeper and deeper into the game, all the way up to your level 80 max. So with Endwalker coming, we've got the brand new DLC, the brand new expansion. Everyone's looking forward to. The player base numbers are through the roof, and I think it's the perfect time for folks to get back into Final Fantasy XIV, just like I did, and hopefully you follow me on my journey, and I get to watch you guys on yours as well, because I think it's fantastic game. It deserves all the praises. And during the summer now, when it's a little bit slower with a lot of new releases, it is the absolute perfect time to get caught up, get to your end game, play through all of the story content, and get ready for the new expansion. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let me know down below again how long you've been playing, what is your favorite class, any tips and tricks for me, because I'm all ears. As I said, I'm new. No hard feelings if you give me some advice on how to play my class better. But my name is JoPaWrites. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all later.